The power of love, loss, and second chances. Welcome to Life Tells Stories. Today, we bring you an emotional journey of redemption, transformation, and the unyielding power of second chances. Meet Jason Carter, a billionaire CEO whose meticulously controlled life was thrown into chaos by a single phone call on New Year's Eve. What followed was a story of love, loss, and the incredible discovery of what truly matters. Let us ask you this. Have you ever faced a life-changing moment that forced you to rethink everything? Share your story in the comments below. And if you love inspiring narratives like this, make sure to subscribe to Life Tells Stories and hit the like button. Your support helps us share stories that matter. For Jason Carter, New Year's Eve was just another day. While the world celebrated with friends and family, Jason sat alone in his pristine penthouse, a glass of untouched whiskey in his hand. Despite his immense success, Jason felt a gnawing emptiness that even his billions couldn't fill. At 11:52 p.m., his phone buzzed. The caller was a nurse from St. Mary's Hospital. Her words were clear yet unbelievable. "Mr. Carter, you're the father of a newborn baby girl. The mother, Emily Rose, passed away during childbirth." Jason froze. Emily. They had dated briefly years ago, but he hadn't heard from her since. How could this be true? The nurse's tone softened. "She listed you as the father. The baby needs you, sir." Torn between disbelief and duty, Jason agreed to go to the hospital. Little did he know, that call was the beginning of a journey that would redefine his life. At the hospital, Jason was handed a sealed letter written by Emily before her passing. Trembling, he unfolded the paper, her familiar handwriting bringing a wave of memories. The letter was deeply personal. Emily explained why she hadn't told him about the pregnancy. She didn't want to disrupt his work-obsessed life or burden him with responsibility. But as her pregnancy progressed, she realized how much their daughter, Ava, would need her father. In her final days, she named Jason as Ava's legal guardian, trusting him to provide the love and stability she could no longer give. "I believe in you, Jason," she wrote. "Ava will be the best thing that ever happens to you." Her words pierced his heart. The woman he had once admired for her strength and kindness now entrusted him with her most precious gift. Nervously, Jason entered the neonatal unit. The room was quiet, filled with rows of tiny cribs. The nurse pointed to a small bundle swaddled in pink. "Ava." Jason hesitated, overwhelmed by the gravity of the moment. Could he really be a father? When the nurse gently placed Ava in his arms, his doubts began to waver. Her tiny fingers curled around his, and Jason felt something he hadn't experienced in years. Connection. He whispered her name, Ava, as his heart cracked open. This wasn't just a responsibility. It was an awakening. Jason's life as a father began with chaos. His penthouse, once a sterile symbol of his wealth, was soon overtaken by diapers, bottles, and baby toys. The perfectly ordered space was transformed into a home filled with the beautiful mess of parenthood. Despite hiring an experienced nanny, Jason insisted on being hands-on. From sleepless nights to learning how to warm bottles at just the right temperature, every moment was a challenge. But it was in these struggles that Jason began to discover a new kind of joy, a sense of purpose he had never felt before. Each time Ava smiled, Jason felt a flicker of pride. He was learning, growing, and slowly realizing that his once solitary life was now filled with meaning. Raising Ava forced Jason to confront his own childhood. Memories of his emotionally distant father surfaced, casting a shadow over his newfound role. His father had been cold, unyielding, and uninterested in anything but results, a stark contrast to the father Jason aspired to be. Jason promised himself he would be different. He wouldn't let his work consume him. He wouldn't let Ava feel the emptiness he had felt as a child. This determination became the foundation of Jason's approach to fatherhood. He wasn't just raising Ava, He was breaking generational cycles of detachment and replacing them with love. For years, Jason's company was his identity. Built from the ground up, it was worth billions and employed thousands. But now, for the first time, work felt secondary. Ava was his priority, and her needs outweighed any boardroom battle or stock market move. Jason made a bold decision. He stepped down as CEO. Delegating responsibilities to his trusted team, he began working part-time, often from home. The move was met with skepticism from investors, but Jason remained resolute. His most important investment was Ava, and he wasn't willing to compromise. This shift marked a profound change in Jason's life. He was no longer just a billionaire. He was a father learning to balance ambition with presence. Emily's absence weighed heavily on Jason. Visiting her grave for the first time since Ava's birth, he knelt beside her headstone, whispering an apology for not being there when she needed him. Tears streamed down his face as he promised to raise Ava with love and devotion. But Jason wanted to do more than just honor Emily's memory privately. Inspired by her strength, he created the Emily Rose Foundation. This initiative provided financial assistance, childcare resources, and job training for single parents. Through the foundation, Jason turned his grief into action, ensuring Emily's legacy would uplift others facing similar challenges. For years, Jason had kept his distance from friends and family, focused solely on his career. But raising Ava taught him the importance of connection. He reached out to his estranged sister, Chloe, who quickly became an integral part of his and Ava's life. Chloe brought warmth and practical parenting advice that Jason desperately needed. She helped him navigate sleepless nights, temper tantrums, and first steps. Jason also reconnected with his college friend Marcus, whose experience as a father of three provided invaluable insights. What about you? Have you ever leaned on loved ones during a challenging time? Share your experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear how your support system helped shape your journey. Over time, Ava's milestones became the highlight of Jason's days. Her first giggle, her first wobbly steps, and her fascination with the world brought him joy he never thought possible. Slowly but surely, Jason began to heal. Through therapy, he confronted his lingering doubts and fears. He forgave himself for past mistakes and embraced the vulnerability of fatherhood. Ava had given Jason something he didn't know he needed: hope. Jason realized that his true purpose wasn't tied to financial success, but to the love and care he gave to his daughter. This realization was transformative, reshaping his priorities and his life. 1 year after that life-changing phone call, Jason stood in his transformed penthouse. Gone were the cold, minimalist designs. The space was now filled with photos of Ava, toys scattered across the floor, and pastel-colored furniture. On New Year's Eve, surrounded by Chloe, Marcus, and close friends, Jason watched Ava take her first unassisted steps. The room erupted in cheers, but Jason's heart was silent with awe. He crouched down, holding out his arms, and Ava toddled toward him, her tiny steps filled with determination. Later that night, at the Emily Rose Foundation's official launch, Jason stood on stage with Ava in his arms. Addressing a crowd of supporters, he spoke about love, resilience, and the power of second chances. "This foundation is a promise," he said. "A promise to honor Emily's strength and to build a world where every child has the chance to thrive." As the applause filled the room, Jason felt a profound sense of fulfillment. Ava had changed him, not just as a person, but as a force for good in the world. Jason Carter's story shows us that life's greatest treasures often come from the most unexpected places. His transformation, from a lonely billionaire to a devoted father and philanthropist, reminds us of the power of love, loss, and second chances. What's your takeaway from this story? Have you ever experienced a moment that redefined your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And before you go, Don't forget to subscribe to Life Tells Stories for more inspiring content. Hit that like button and ring the notification bell so you never miss a story. Thank you for watching, and remember, life's best stories are yet to be told.